Hello, you're live on the ArchieLuxury channel. Today we're discussing Misery Has Many Friends, Stories of Decline, and one of the most depressing son of a bitches, and America's favorite pro bono lawyer is Clyde. Hello, Clyde. How are you?
Great. How about yourself?
Hey, I tell you what, Clyde, you can tell those pussies at AA, my answer is in a bottle. You know that? I'm having fun, having a little bit of a sipsy of this Ardbeg. This is quality scotch. This ain't no cheap ass shit. This is good stuff. You know that?
Do you look the bottle just to fuck with us? I'm just kind of wondering about that.
I don't want to waste. No wastage. No wastage. No wastage. Clyde, I want to talk to you about misery. I want to talk to you. We were talking payday loans before. That was a lot of. I love hearing about people's financial stupidity. You entered into a topic which I'm really proud of you for doing. You mentioned the rent to buy furniture.
Right.
And you also mentioned tote the note cars.
Yes.
What other pieces of stupidity can we talk about? Fast food and smoking?
Oh, that's certainly, or just, just poor choices in general. Untreated mental health problems.
We were talking Oklahoma. We were talking about the death penalty. We were talking about all sorts of misery in America. And I wanted to ask you the truth there, Clyde. You would stay away from payday lenders? Is that the best advice you could say to young people? Do you say to your sons, stay away from payday lenders and rent to buy furniture? Tell me what you say to them.
Well, I tell my daughter repeatedly, don't get pregnant. I tell my son repeatedly not to get anyone pregnant.
Good,
so
good.
That's the big one. Don't get married. Or at least don't rush into it. Say, be careful with your money. Stay out of debt.
Have you mentioned payday loans?
Well, no, my children aren't stupid. Actually. Well, yeah, not payday loans particularly not. Unfortunately, I just found out my daughter, as we speak, is probably out clubbing. She's drove in with her beau, and they're meeting their little 20 high school friends over there, and we're going to go to some honky tonks. And it's like, oh, geez, please, please, please tell me that you've got a designated driver, or take a cab. Daddy doesn't want to have, or an Uber. Yeah, that's true. I shouldn't have thought about that. I guess I'm still old fashioned in my thinking, but it's just like, just promise me you're not going to make Daddy have to stop and use his OR privileges.
OR?
Attorney-owned recognizance.
What does that mean?
Well, there's a program with municipal on municipal charges in Oklahoma County. Since I belong to the Oklahoma County Bar Association, I can pull someone out on city charges with my bar card.
How do you mean pull someone out? What do you mean by that?
I show them my bar card in my Oklahoma County Bar Association, said I'm posting an attorney bond on this person. Please take them out of custody forthwith.
Oh, and they can do that?
Oh, yeah.
Would you do that for me? Would you do that for me?
I don't think it works for foreigners. It doesn't work. I looked over the terms. It doesn't work for Australians. Apparently, there's some sort of...
What about Brits? Does it work for Brits?
As long as they're not Australian, yes.
Because I've got a British passport, so I'm as British as they come, sunshine.
No, you're not. Actually, I actually got someone out of jail with a phone call the other day.
How did you do that? Nice. What happened? What happened?
This person, I've done this. I've used this line twice. If they have a lot of health problems, I basically call up the prosecutor or the DA and say, "Hey, quick question: how would you like someone to die in your jail tonight?"
I see.
Then I fax over their medical documentation and say, here's the deal. Either you're going to give them medical care, you're going to give them an OR, or I'm going to keep a transaction. I'm going to keep a record of these transactions. And when they do die in your jail, I know some pretty good civil guys I'll point the family to. Surprisingly enough, then they get released out of jail just right off.
What do your clients go to jail for? Can I ask you that?
Breaking the law.
Like, what sort of stuff do they do, if you don't mind me, if that's not invading your personal space?
Yeah, as long as it's general. Booze, drugs, and frauds.
What sort of frauds? What sort of broad problems they have?
Domestic violence. Assault and battery. Assault and battery within a certain amount delineated class. Girlfriend, an ex-girlfriend, a family member, someone you're in a dating relationship, or someone that an ex is in a dating relationship with. If you hit them, if you commit a battery and leave a mark or leave an injury, it's not just assault and battery, it's domestic violence.
Is that worse?
Yeah, absolutely. Domestic violence, number one, you can't post a bond for 4 days.
Oh.
Because it gives the victim time to get out, clear, unask the area, grab their stuff, grab the kids, and go someplace safe. And also, basically, if you're a wife beater, it's a misdemeanor. And the first time like a DUI or a pot charge is a misdemeanor. And it's a misdemeanor, it almost has the bite of a felony. Good luck getting a firearm. Good luck getting a job.
Good luck getting a job? What do you mean by that?
Criminal record, it looks like you're potentially, it looks like you're violent and abusive. So would you want to hire someone that's violent and abusive?
What about that tote the note place? They might take that as a plus.
Well, that's true. Okay, I admit that. Well, no, that'd still be liability.
What sort of cars do they have at Tote the Note?
So we're talking about Tote the Note places again. Older cars that they pick up for a bargain.
Any Mercedes-Benzes?
Probably older ones, probably in various stages of decline. Oh, okay, stories of decline. Okay, that makes sense.
Yes.
Nice.
Yeah, I'm trying to work on the topic.
Tying it back in.
Tying it back in.
Stories of decline.
You talk about your career or your personal life, Clyde?
What?
Stories of decline? Yeah, your career or your personal life.
How many Rolexes do I have? How many Rolexes do you... No, sorry. No, actually...
I got a panic! I got a panic!
A. Singular.
I got 4 Rolexes, by the way, Clyde.
Chick ones. Those things might as well be cock rings. That's how much easily you could sell them. All right. I picture Archie and Clyde in a Turkish bath getting hammered on cheap hashish. That would also be a story of decline.
Do you smoke cigars, Clyde?
I have before, not lately though. I do have a cigar shop pretty close to me. Okay, Clyde, under what circumstance can I legally kill a motherfucker? Well, if you catch him, make my day, or if you catch him fucking your mother without consent, possibly. But yeah, actually, Tulsa, they had a nice little make my day case that had some national attention. 3 or 4 Hispanic youths broke into a residence, thinking that the homeowner left and his teenage son was there, who had easy access to an AR-15.
Oh, what happened?
Blew them away. Pop, pop, pop.
How badly?
Well, I think they're pretty much, what is it? PHUKED.
Tell me this. I was thinking about another business idea called crime scene cleaners.
They have that.
Crime scene cleaners. I'm thinking about a business that's got growth. When you ring up crime scene cleaners, they say suicide, meth lab, or crime scene. What would you say? So who cleans the... Okay, this guy shot the fuck out of these Hispanic guys. There's blood everywhere. Who the fuck cleans this fucking filth off?
I imagine the homeowner does.
I'm asking.
So the homeowner would generally, yeah. So
can you sue for damages to the Hispanics or not?
You can always sue anyone, but on the other hand, if they don't have any, there's a concept called being judgment proof. So if you have nothing, if you have nothing, or everything you have is exempt from garnishment or seizure, then there have been times where I've gone into court, used to go into court and say, the whole thing is, Judge, we can't pay this, we can't pay this. And I said, Judge, it's our position that we are entitled legally to our more than likely worthless judgment.
What does that mean?
Well, it means the fact that they can't pay it has nothing to do with the fact that they owe it. We may not ever get anything out of this judgment, but Judge, we're entitled to the judgment.
And what do they say to that?
They're like, yep, legally, you're entitled to it. So there you go. Good luck trying to collect it, kid.
So what happens then? You just send it to a collection agency 10 years down the track.
No. Actually, no. I worked for a collection law firm. We collected ourselves. We'd order them in court on a hearing on assets. We do a property search. If they had any real property, we'd file a judgment lien.
I see. They're not really nice people you were working for, were they?
They were better than most. At least we didn't yell, we didn't scream, we weren't like mentally abusive, but it's just like, this is how this is going to go down. We can either do this the nice way, or
when you were collecting for credit cards, can you negotiate and say, look, if you owe $5,000, can you say, I'll give you $1,000, I want you to go away? Can you ever do that or not really?
No, you can't really just go away, fuck you. You have to phrase it the right way. And it's just like, okay, not go away. Here's a fifth of what you're due. Fuck yourself. No. It's just like, look, guys, I have no assets. I've lost my job. I've bought 5 IWC Inman Euro watches. So I can't sell them. They're worthless.
I can't sell them. They're worthless. Yeah.
I can't sell them. They're worthless. I just had a little bit of a windfall. I had a car wreck. I'm receiving $1,000 from it, and I can either use that $1,000 and declare bankruptcy, or I can pay that to hand that over to you if you'll use that to satisfy the judgment.
I see.
In which case, well, it depends on the settlement authority given by the client, but sometimes it's just like, well, shit, he doesn't really have any assets. He doesn't have any assets. He probably can file bankruptcy. $1,000 in hand is better than nothing. But it depends on the client.
Did you ever take wristwatches off people? Tell me this.
No, I didn't. I didn't know much about horology at the point, or I sure as fuck would have. Where were you like 5 or 6 years ago? Well, actually, more like 10 years ago. Now, get your watch out of your mouth. Is it true there's a difference between American? There's a difference between American. Okay. Look, I'm not going to answer con law questions at 11 o'clock on a Friday night. I'm sorry, on a free podcast. No, I'm not going to do that.
No, you're not going to do that. Okay. Clyde, I want to plug your services. You're America's favorite pro bono lawyer. You're looking for more pro bono work, aren't you?
No, I'm not looking for pro work. No, why would I? Yeah, are you looking to give people free watches? No.
I thought you were looking for more pro bono work.
No, pro bono means for free. Why would I be looking for more free work?
Don't you get a percentage of the win on pro bono?
A percentage of what?
Of the win.
No, that's a contingency fee.
You don't do pro bono work?
I don't start out, not intentionally, half the time it works out that way towards the end. But no, I never intentionally take pro bono.
If I rang you up when I'm in jail and said, Clyde, can you do a pro bono case for me? What would you say? No.
No. And by the way, nothing I say should be construed in any way as legal advice. I'm only duly licensed under the laws of the state of Oklahoma. The laws of your jurisdiction may be quite different. You should always consult a practicing attorney in whatever jurisdiction you happen to live in.
Now tell me this, float the note, right? How can you get out of that and keep the car? They're not allowed to take it out of your garage, but are you?
They can't possess it. They can't possess it themselves. They can send a sheriff over with a writ to come and take it. And generally, with a tote the note, you're file bankruptcy, and the trustee in the bankruptcy should be allowed to broad discretion to redraft the terms of the contract.
What's the worst story of float the note? Tell me a bad story. I want to hear stories of misery, Clyde.
Well, let's see. Boy, divorce laws. Divorce is probably a lot better stories of misery.
Tell me the misery of divorce. Tenny's misery. I want to hear stories of misery.
Oh, come on. You wouldn't need for stories of divorce misery. I don't think I need to be here for this one. No. That could be a monologue, couldn't it?
You tell me a story of misery in America. I want to hear it. I want to hear misery. I'm feeling down. I get a lift out of hearing your tales there.
Boy.
Float the note, big boy.
Tote the note is, like I said, it's just general. People fall and never get out of it. God, the most awful tale of misery. Guy worked hard all of his life, supporting his family.
Yeah.
Comes home, finds his wife in bed with another man.
Mm-hmm.
She sues him for divorce.
Yes.
He is freaks out during the initial encounter. Gets violent with the wife and her beau.
Mm-hmm.
And because of that, gets also arrested for domestic violence as well, because he did assault her. So he also gets divorced, guy lost his job. He was arrested.
What sort of job did he have?
Manager at a tote the note place, I think.
It could be karma, Clyde.
Right. Well, yeah.
Okay, keep going. So he got it.
Divorce, ordered to pay alimony and child support.
He's got no income. How can he pay alimony?
Because they use his past record, his past earnings. Inside, even if you don't have a job, even under Oklahoma, you can at least your imputed minimum wage, if not more. So, assets taken, basically thrown out of the house.
Mm-hmm. Did they own the house? Had a mortgage or what?
Mortgage with some equity in it, and the only thing he was allowed to have was his IWC and manure, because the court ruled it had absolutely no value whatsoever.
So what happened to him?
Got another job and tried to rebuild his life.
Whilst paying alimony to this woman.
And child support.
How many kids did he have?
3.
So what did you say?
And also, Well, I said, no, I'm not taking that fucking IWC for my goddamn attorney fee.
What did you really say to him? Tell me the truth.
Well, sometimes the bear gets you. Sometimes you get the bear and sometimes the bar gets you.
Okay.
No, that was completely a bullshit story. Of course.
Yeah, of course.
I could tell you. Well, no, there's Dick versus Dick. That was a horrible fucking one. We all refer to that as the lesbian case because all of us said, as soon as we're done with this divorce, none of us want to see a dick ever again.
I see.
I had the paternity within a divorce, husband versus wife versus baby's daddy. That was interesting.
Husband versus, what happened there? Tell me about that. That sounds interesting.
In the middle of a prolonged divorce, wife started playing around with my client, and they have a baby within wedlock while they're separated, while the husband and wife were separated, but still legally married.
Yeah.
So it was almost like a three-way melee for child support, purposes of child support, and for purposes of visitation custody. Because if the child is born during the course of the marriage, it's legitimate. And one section of the Oklahoma Paternity Act basically said, well, kids born during the marriage, it belongs to the husband. Fortunately, prior counsel managed to sneak in a paternity test somehow over this one judge's objection. So I was able to go in and use and argue an exception of the paternity code using grandparental visitation statutes in cases, federal and state. And say, well, okay, because of this case, because of this paternity test, he is the biological father of it. Now, ignoring the paternity case, there are cases from the United States Supreme Court and also the Oklahoma Supreme Court saying you cannot terminate the rights, you cannot award custody of a child to someone who is not the biological parent without a showing that the biological parent is unfit. And therefore, the part of the Oklahoma Parentage Act that allows you to do that is invalid. It's invalid under federal law. It's invalid under Oklahoma constitutional law.
I see.
So, and this judge is being a dickhead. So, literally, I stood there with a whole bunch of the grandparental visitation statutes and a bunch of cases. And so, literally, I just started flinging all over started covering his desk. Did
you win?
Yeah, won. Pissed him off too. That was brilliant. But I think eventually even that old troll had to concede that we were right.
What was your fee for that?
Not nearly fucking enough.
I see.
And actually, come to think, and of course, come to think of one of the litigants, my wife was a. Are you sniffing your watch? Or are you looking at the time?
Yeah, sniffing.
I wonder, is some math on the board?
Keep going. Telling your story.
Okay. No, so basically, there was a paternity that took place within the divorce. It's like a Katyusha doll, where one doll is within the smaller doll, the Russian doll.
Did she try and hit him up for maintenance?
Oh, of course.
Husband.
Not after we won. So after that, then baby's daddy had to pay divorce. Now,
so whose name did she put on the birth certificate?
Geez. Is it true that there is a legal difference between a person's name spelled in all caps versus lower caps on a legal document or a credit card? Oh, geez. It's one of those people again. Yes. I'm trying to think what the... Clyde, could Archie get the needle for being an arsehole in Oklahoma? No, he could not. So anyway, so yeah, that's about it. You know, what do you think about, you know, all those conversations that we had about watches where I would send you Craigslist ads and you would look over the watches and advise me?
Yes.
I'm kind of thinking possibly that could be used on the channel and would just simply be almost the format instead of us sending texts or emails back and forth. That you
We
could
can do it,
look.
Clyde. We can do it. Now you got to go to bed. It's late for you. What time is it in America?
Oh, it's 11:30, but I actually think there's I actually think there's a lot of useful stuff in there.
I agree with you. You got to smoke that cigarette or not? You got to waste it.
No, I'll smoke it. Fuck it. It's already I got a new e-cigarette, but I still have half a pack of cigarettes. I'm kind of faking or conciliating.
What strength are those cigarettes? What strength are they?
They're American Spirit. Well, they're a black package, so I imagine they're not light.
What are they? 16s? 12 milligrams?
Doesn't really say, oddly enough. But I think it's the most full strength version that they have. Allegedly, it's all natural and organic, and there's no additives or preservatives and so forth and so on.
You like smoking?
Fuck yes, I like smoking. Who doesn't like smoking?
It's not good for your health, but is it?
Well, no, actually, there are no additives and preservatives. See? No additives or preservatives. And everyone knows it's the additive and preservatives that really causes the bad shit.
I understand. Do you think you could go to cigars or not really?
Yeah, actually, I did have a cigar phase for a while. I also did pipes in college.
And what happened then?
Pipes are a pain in the ass.
Why? You got to keep the fuckers cleaned.
Yep, exactly.
You're wearing your Milgauss.
Yes, I am.
Wow. Clyde,
My white Milgauss.
Tales of Misery. Tell me this, Clyde. Any other tales of misery in Oklahoma?
Comparatively, you mean comparative misery? Like worse than your life?
Exactly.
No,
Tell me.
Not really. Jeez. Misery happens every day. People, and every day there's winners, there's losers. People lose their jobs. People lose their health. People lose their lives. Probably let's see. Boy, jeez. Oh well, yeah. Actually, I've got a case right now where they're bringing charges against him. They're trying to bring charges against him for the same crime in 2 different fucking counties.
Is that possible?
It shouldn't be. I'm trying to get. Jesus Christ. One of them, they're so understaffed. It's just like actually the DA is pretty decent, but it's like, Emily, could you please read your fucking notes? Could you read the file? Seriously, this guy was not even in Logan County. Sometimes the DA, and it sounds like I'm defending him. It's not. They should hire more of them. But sometimes it's just like, do you guys ever read these fucking things before you sign them?
I see. Got you.
Domestic violence. Okay. Domestic violence.
Yes, tell me about that.
Oh yeah, I got tons of domestic violence. We call it playing. We actually refer with the criminal defense bar and the prosecutors. We refer to it as playing witness chicken. Like we talked about domestic violence, dating relationships, some sort of familial or domestic relationship, assault and battery. Yes. Now there's three types of occasions where it happens. Number one, okay, well, since he's not looking, pontiff. All right. Any questions around the boards? No, I'm not Archie's fucking boyfriend. Do you guys know Oklahoma has 2 seasons, 2 fucking hot and 2 fucking cold. Did I ever see Midnight Express? No, I probably should have. Am I streaming from prison? No, I need some artwork on the walls. Yeah, okay, fine.
Clyde, I got to talk to you there. I'm really worried about you, Clyde.
How's that? Video of Clyde painting something on his walls? What the fuck is wrong with you people?
Clyde, I'm really worried about you, okay? Do you have a life yourself? Do you have a life? Do you have a life? Besides the watches, besides the cigarettes, besides the tales of misery, what else is in your life to keep you sane? I'm really worried about you, Clyde.
Well, I like to read. I like to watch documentaries. I like to get out and do stuff occasionally. So, yeah.
I'm thinking about having a cigar today, Clyde. What do you reckon?
Sure. By the way, I can't see you.
Oh, fuck. That's right. I've taken that. Sorry, there we go.
Oh, kind of doing low tech. So you
fell down. Okay. No,
all right.
The thing fell down. Clyde, I got to talk to you about this, and it's serious, okay? If you're arrested, right? What should you say?
Nothing. Don't say a fucking word. I've never seen anyone talk themselves out of jail, but I've seen plenty of people talk themselves into it. The police are not your friends. They're gathering evidence.
The police are not your friends. They are gathering evidence.
Yeah.
That's harsh, Clyde.
They're there to build a case.
They are not your friends.
No. If they're investigating you, they're there to build a case against you. Why would you want to help them build a case against you?
So shut up.
Keep your fucking mouth shut.
Like, how do you do that? They say, if they ask you in for questioning...
I want an attorney. I want an attorney. Then after that...
If they say to you... They take the interview and they say, you are free to go at any time. What should you do? Stand up and say, thank you, goodbye.
Am I free to go, officer? Officer, am I free to go? Am I under arrest? Am I free to go? And leave.
Leave.
Keep asking if you're under arrest. Say, I don't want to make any statements at this time. I'd like to consult with an attorney. Once you invoke the attorney, they can't question you. The other thing is, don't make voluntary statements.
I see.
Is that a throaty in your mouth, or?
No, it's a Vita. This is a new thing. My good friend from Bagnell sent me Vita Energy.
Okay. Is it helping?
No. They taste like shit. They taste fucking awful. You know that? I'm trying to stop swearing, by the way. I don't know if you noticed that in my videos.
I have noticed that. Yeah, I have noticed that, actually. And the thing is, I've noticed when you've done like the ones with the sea dwellers, you can tell that you're trying to reach a broader audience, because, you know, you can't say, hey, Uncle Bob, look at this video. This guy's done real comprehensive. Okay, Archie is a magnet for many degenerates. Too many comps. Oh yeah, jails. I don't know what it is about our impoverished little about our impoverished little state, but we never have enough money for schools, but we always manage to find the money for jails. I wonder how that always is. You know, Dwight Ike, President Eisenhower, before he left office, said, beware the military-industrial complex. Actually, in our state and a lot of other ones, it's almost the prison-industrial complex.
I see. How bad is it inside?
Bad.
How bad?
Inadequate medical care. So if you have a life-threatening medical condition, you could very well lose health, life, or limb. Inadequate supervision. So, you know, the whole thing about soap on a rope, definitely. And a lot of times there's a lot of private industries that take advantage of prison populations. So it's like, we can either keep you caged up in your cell like an animal, or you can get out and work for 5 cents an hour. That way the corporation, the company that is under contract makes money. the prison makes money, and the person incarcerated makes nothing or next to nothing.
They make 5 cents an hour.
Something just
they're getting valuable work
$1
experience. They're getting valuable work experience, Clyde. Don't be such a leftist.
Read about this and other great American myths. Don't let them caged up and like, okay, look, I'll put some. I was actually thinking about kind of going with the Parisian thing, so I'll get some shit on the walls tomorrow. God damn it. Fuck. So what time is it there? Sunday?
Yeah, Sunday, 2:38 p.m.
Middle of the day. Okay. Any plans for the rest of the weekend or rest of the day? Any more videos coming?
No, I've drunken half a bottle of scotch already. I got to go to one of your AA meetings. I might go to an AA meeting. What do you reckon? 7 steps.
I think you should go to AA meetings and do watch reviews.
I think I've done a few silly things in my life. You know, that IWC was a dumb decision.
Well, not like horrendously dumb. It's not a bad watch. And IWC has its. I mean, does
it's
the
not as
carpet
bad as going and paying retail, is it?
No, absolutely not. Absolutely not.
I prefer my Rolex Explorer more. You know that.
You what?
My Rolex Explorer. I prefer that. You know.
To the IWC.
Yeah. I like the Polar Explorer 2. I love that watch.
The Polar Explorer?
I
can't really say that. I mean, like you said, they're going up in price where I'm at. I can't find any now for under 5,000.
You're joking.
No. I've told you that 2 or 3 times. And these are like older ones as well. Going far afield, but yeah, it seems like watches. It's almost like computer memory. Prices start out when they're really, really high, then production kind of catches up with demand. Prices fall, and then eventually the model is discontinued, or maybe some rare cases comes back into fashion, and reaches the bottom of the bell curve and starts to come back up. I think the Polar is coming back up price-wise that I can determine.
A good point, Clyde.
Yeah, I think which I think that they specifically, instead of releasing a new reference model, the Wilgoss, they just dropped it all together. So that's why I think it kind of got an unfair boost from the collector market.
You reckon?
Yeah, I think so, because every watch I've got, right place of serendipity, blind, stupid, stinking luck, or thinking, oh, it looks kind of cool. I think I'll get one of those, and then and even in my PAM Zero, I can't see any of those for under 4,000 now, or 45.
Wow, that's amazing.
Yeah, every one I've got seems. Well, with the exception of the Rolex date, and I think it's increased in value at least $1,000 within a few, weeks or a few months. So I'm happy with my watch collection.
Did you want to buy an IWC?
Let me think about that. No. Sorry, I'm unfamiliar with it. It doesn't have the cachet that Rolex does. It doesn't have the brand following that Rolex does. I already have a watch with twice the anti-magnetic qualities that yours does. That's, of course, it doesn't have a date window, but still,
mine's 100 ounce. 100 ounce is how much is yours? It's the same. It's the same.
1,000 Gauss, Mil Gauss.
100 Gauss.
Yours is 100 Gauss.
Yeah.
Mil is, look, I'm from like one of the last countries not to adopt the metric system. Carter tried when I was like junior high or something, so they tried it for like 6 months, everyone got pissed off and they kind of went back. So some of us are not.
Did you
really
like Jimmy
great with
Carter?
either one of
You're a Democrat. You liked Jimmy Carter, didn't you?
moral but ineffective.
Why was he?
Give me Bill Clinton.
He's such a cool guy, Jimmy Carter, but he was as straight as a die. You know that?
Well, let me put this. Last year, law school, the dean of the school used to be the attorney general, and right after, he became he became a judge on the federal 10th Circuit Court of Appeals. So he had a little bit of political clout. He had some connections. So we had a legislation class, and so he came in and had a lobbyist. So we had to sit down and talk with a lobbyist. And he was talking about, a lot of the functions that they do. A lot of times, legislators, they are understaffed. They don't have time to actually research. They have to make tough decisions. So in a lot of ways, lobbyists, we come and present, marshal our evidence, produce our information to the legislator and the legislator staff. And opposing lobbyists do the same thing. So in a lot of ways, they almost viewed it as analogous to a court proceeding, to where both sides doing their best, either a just or a fair result is achieved. And one gal basically said, let's face it, let's be honest here. Aren't you in effect just buying votes? The contributions, everything else, aren't you just buying votes? He looked over at Dean Henry and he said, okay, Bob, you said this is off the record. This is off the record, right? Yeah. Okay.
Yes.
And he said, look, this is the way we see it. If you can't eat our steaks, drink our liquor, and fuck our women, and vote against us when it comes to your own interests, you shouldn't be a politician anyway.
I see. Clyde, with that, we're going to wrap this up, Clyde. I love you to death. Let's chat next week.
All right. We'll have to start scam school.
Yeah, that's another great idea.
Well, no, it's just basically pitting on video the conversations we've had, all the times you advised me on what to look for. And what.
Let's do it, Clyde. Let's do it. And if anyone wants to get in touch with you, America's favorite pro bono lawyer, how can they get in touch with you? Okay. I'm Clyde. Let me preface this. My email address, once I tell you this, is the easiest one to remember. You're not after pro bono work, are you? Seriously, we're joking with you, aren't you? No, absolutely joking. Clyde, you're not interested at all, are you? In pro bono work, no. I can work for free without any help. All right. Not but you problem. After some work, any work? In case give them your email address, Clyde. Okay, I can make this real easy to remember. I'm Clyde. I practice law in Oklahoma. Yeah. On an overpriced computer. Yeah. Clyde Law OK at Mac.com. Okay. Well, shit. 1:45. Better let you go, Clyde. You get some sleep. Take care, big boy. Have another cigarette and a drink before you go. No, I don't drink.